things that I have experience on. I am Jaleesa Marie Smith. Nice to meet you all. I am a entrepreneur, mother of three, uh, diverse learner teacher, Chicago Public School teacher formerly, and I am excited to connect with parents. I am excited to give the tools that help families build themselves up and get themselves to a great place. So, just a little bit about me. My parenting journey started in 2005 with the birth of my first child. I went through many, many hardships, many ups and downs, being a single parent, trying to navigate life, trying to really navigate the world. And in these hardships came many, many blessings. And so I'm so grateful for those blessings. And I believe that those hardships led me to a lot of the experiences and the experience I'm able to speak to today. And so somewhere along the yellow brick road, I became a diverse learner teacher in Chicago, Illinois. It has been a true joy. I'm very proud. I love my students. I love interacting with families. I love learning, and the learning and process and the teaching and learning cycle really excite me. But one of the things that I learned in interacting with parents was how important it was to hold community, how important it was to be able to have a level of fluency when you're supporting your children, and just kind of seeing the different sides of children, from who children are at school to who my kids are at home, and kind of coming to this realization that they're not the same people. And then thinking about my own parental anxiety and things that while they're at school just genuinely make me nervous, besides dropping off my kids to people that I don't necessarily know. And so as a teacher, I learned to take away a lot of that parental anxiety by building community. And so I have become an expert at that, being able to build teams. I've built teams from corporate teams to private teams to family teams. And so today, I just want to talk about that piece where you're building family teams. And so for part two of our team talk, our Wealth Wednesday edition is going to rock us right into the idea of recruiting your team as a teammate. So, when we're recruiting our teams as teammates, this is a process. It's a process that first starts with team building being a regular norm in our parenting style, skills, and routines. For example, waking up in the morning and having conversations very briefly about what's going to happen with the day every day can be incredibly time consuming. So for my family, we have what's called a team meeting on Sundays where we sit down and we talk about what everyone is going to be doing. We sit and talk about where everyone needs to go, what their responsibilities are, and we share a virtual family calendar. Now, we also share a physical print calendar as well. Both serve the same purpose, for us to be aware of when the other person, the other people have a change in their week. I have all types of wonderful templates and calendars for view on my website for anyone that's wanting to look and check out some different ways to build routines at liveandmanage.com. Besides that, let me tell you more about these meetings. So, in our meetings, we sit and we share our high and our low of the week. That's the very first way we started off. It contributes to communication, clarity, and openness about our feelings and how we feel, whether it's conversations about school, conversations about work, or conversations about home. So I'm open to all of those things here in my household. Every household is different. Some of us are a little uncomfortable bringing religion or politics into the home. We talk all those things here. So we leave nothing off the table at all in our team talks that we're having on Sundays. After we're talking about our high and lows of the weeks and we get through those things, then we kind of slowly move into having conversations about what our week is going to look like and what our goals are. So, goal setting is a big part of our team meetings. And when we are setting our goals, we are pretty much trying to manifest and build up the successes that we want within our week. So, for example, our team meeting on Sunday sound a lot like I want to execute a seamless live. In order for me to do that, I have to make sure that my Wednesday is sharp. So, what do I have to do on Wednesday? Now, why am I skipping to Wednesday? Because for me, it was the middle of my week, the highlight of my week, and being live and present to talk to all of you is very important to me. So, because it's so important to me, I just want to make sure that it is the first thing that I plan in my week. So, that's the first tip is important first, right? So, whatever is the most important to me is what I'm going to take the most detail to plan within that particular day. So, I knew that I had to pick up grandma from the doctor. I knew that I had to go to work. I knew that I had to make several other things happen in order to be here and present with you at the time that I say, right? 7 p.m. every Wednesday. And I made it. But I made it because of careful timing, careful structure, and sticking to my plan. Also, using all of the digital technologies that I have to support my plan. So that may include Google Calendar, that may include iCloud Calendar, that may just include some reminders, or you can kick it old school and make you a nice list of things to do and save it as your wallpaper, right? So that's like one of my go-to favorites. Every time I pick up my phone, boom, list is right there. Okay, so that's like one of my quick hacks for just getting through a day that has lots and lots of events on top of each other. We went on to plan our Wednesday, our Monday, and decided, okay, what does Monday really genuinely look like? Now, let me tell y'all something. My Monday did not at all, even a little bit, go the way I planned, right? Because all Sunday night, my son was incredibly sick. He was having a lot of symptomatic things going on, and I ended up having to be Dr. Mommy, and that was not the plan, right? That was not what I wrote down. That was not what was in Google Calendar. It's not what was on the wall calendar. This was nowhere, anywhere, right? But I was able to adjust so well because of just how I set my week up in general, right? Making sure that the moment the laundry basket is at a place that I think is full, so that might not be at the rim, right? But that's at some point, maybe half, I'm like, I have to do this laundry, right? The washing machine works itself. What can I give myself other to do during the 40 minutes that this washing machine is working? So on Saturday, as I'm doing my laundry, I'm putting things into the wash and I am ready, like ready to get to whatever that thing is. Which for me sometimes is planning content, sometimes it's creating, sometimes it's developing a new product, or sometimes it's working on my community at the Guardians Academy and coming up with new amazing challenges for people to challenge themselves every day. Sometimes it's, hey, this 45 minutes would be really great for a nap because I haven't slept. So, whatever it is that I decide to do or whatever I come up with along the way, um, it's like it sets me up perfect, right? I know that Saturday morning I'm up at 5 a.m. and I'm gonna make sure that I'm cleaning and getting things together. And these are like all of my little tidbit things. But here's what happens when you start to recruit your teams as team members. What happens is that you start to be able to not even just delegate, but to situate everyone's role. And it's something about a household having solid and secure roles that just sets a house very, very smooth. So in the morning, my daughter knows that she's the one that puts the dishes up from the dishwasher, right? I'm the person that takes out the dog. Depending on whose room my son decides to sleep in, is the person that's going to get up and brush his teeth and make sure that his clothes are ready. But on Saturday, right after laundry, as I'm folding, I'm not folding and putting clothes up and picking them out. We're not going to walk backwards, right? We're going to walk forward. So as I'm folding clothes and getting clothes together, now I'm like, okay, here's a pair of pants, here's a shirt, here's socks, here's undies. I'm going to put all these things together because they look really good, and I'm going to put them in this one spot. And the next time I find another set, they're going to be, next to that previous set. And so one of the freedoms that this allows me, in general, is it allows me to be able to have something already in place the very next morning or a few mornings before. Just think, if I'm doing this on Saturday and I'm planning out 7 outfits, then we're good to go for every single day of the week. And so, as long as my daughter knows that she needs to do this or needs to do that or whatever it is, then we all have our roles in what needs to happen. Before we bought our car, it was like, who's going to go out and start the car in the morning, right? Another one of my girls would do that. Well, we got recently a nicer car, and so now we have remote start, and I can just start the car from the window. But even then, that's my role, right? Who's going to start the car? Who's going to put up the dishes? Who's going to walk the dog? Is the person that walks the dog going to be the same person that feeds the dog? Are they going to remember? Are they going to have time? So those Sunday meetings, those meetups, really do a great job at solidifying what is supposed to happen and how, having conversations about the week and what the week is supposed to look like, having a true understanding of kind of maybe how each other feels about a situation that might have taken place the week before. The other thing is, I noticed that the same couples that are like married or live together and don't have kids also don't have pets, or they have fur babies. And then there's the whole responsibility of that. And I find that couples without children are very easily overwhelmed by an uptight schedule. Because I just think when something kicks into high gear that you're not used to, that hustle and bustle can really throw you off, as opposed to, if you're in single mom mode all the time like me, then it's like, even if something comes through this window, honey, I'm going to finish this live, okay? Because that's just the lemons I've been handed, and this is the lemonade I'm going to make, okay? So as we come together and formulate all of these different pockets and roles of what happens, we have to decide how to synchronize those pockets in a way where they can be very, very seamless. And I brought up the couples because I just wanted you to see that really this can happen on any level, right? So yes, I am the guardian teacher, and I love to teach guardians, and I love to look at families of all different structures and makeups and make their lives easier. But a family is a family, right? So if you're married and it's just you and you all are trying to figure out how to get the routines going, boom, that might be a tip. Hopefully something that I said tonight could help you really get to a place where you start to think a little bit more about the way you're communicating with the people in your home. Also, I want to talk a little bit about incentives. So how do you incentivize teenagers to be team members, right? So first of all, as a team, we all win. And the winning mentality is going to show itself all the time beneficial to the other person. And let me give you an opposing example. So, for example, somebody forgets to do what they're supposed to do. Well, things fall apart. They either fall apart for the other person or they fall apart for, but either way it goes, when it comes back, the whole family suffers, right? If one of us forgets our role, or let's say at night If I'm supposed to run the dishwasher and then in the morning she's supposed to put the clean dishes up, if I don't run the dishwasher, there's no clean dishes for her to put up. But guess who can't make no breakfast? You don't have no dishes. You gonna eat? You're not gonna eat. So I think that when kids start thinking about the ways and you start pointing out so eloquently and delicately how these roles benefit them, it comes back. It doesn't always have to be a monetary thing. This doesn't always have to be about like money or what someone can get. It doesn't always have to come with a prize at the end that is tangible. It can genuinely be just, man, if you get out that bathroom at a certain time, I can do something that's going to be beneficial for you. If you remember to walk the dog, then that gives me time to do this with your brother that you won't have to do. If one person has a really hard time waking up in the morning and somebody else is assigned to get them up, when they get them up, that's going to make everything run smooth for everybody else, right? And so, having somewhat of a guideline about how to best pull these practices together is my job and something that I offer you on liveandmanage.com. So I want you guys to, of course, tune in and get a chance to see how these routines work in action with calendars, templates, schedulers, and tutorials on how to use some of these tech tools that I've mentioned and some that I have not. So I am so happy that you all tuned in to me for another Wealth Wednesday, the teen edition of recruiting your teens as teammates. What this looks like, what this sounds like, and how to maybe take bits and pieces of what I said and to make it work for you. Once again, I hope this has been a really beneficial 20 minutes, okay? Don't want to take up much of your time. Just want to keep the good times rolling and the good vibes rolling and keep all of these wonderful, amazing, and useful routines active and available for you all. Hey, Instagram family. Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it. I have to wave at everyone. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hi. Thank you so much for attending my live. I hope you guys catch me again next Wednesday at 7 o'clock on YouTube Live and Instagram Live. Have a good night.